Sleepyhead.
I'm not letting you go to work today.
Wait, what?
Everybody, listen up.
Welcome to The Drive.
Morning.
You're gonna talk.
Get on the phone at 339-1140.
Pretty awesome, huh?
Jump in on our text line at 441140.
Everyone is talking about it. You must know that.
The Drive starts now.
You can follow us on Twitter at The Drive 1140, at Carmichael Dave, at Kyle A. Madsen. Madson as in YU Madson, M-A-D-S-O-N. Got this a few minutes ago. Late night from Scotland. I was close to going to bed at 3 a.m. with our 28-point lead, but then hashtag Kings. How about a shout-out on the radio? I'm happy to do that. We appreciate all our international listeners. It's Tom Heaton, is it? At Tom Heaton, Tomheaddden, Kings fan in Scotland. Give him a follow. 1-800-920-1140, 339-1140. In this half hour, we will go over the game a little bit, and I will push everything aside if you guys want to talk about things. We go to line one.
I want to, real quick, before we do that.
Go ahead. I'll put him back on hold. Hold on.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
Don't drop him. Okay, he's still there.
He's still there.
We've got Eric Church tickets to give away. That's some good news.
That is.
We'll do that at 8:35.
Okay.
So set the alarm on your phone. 8:35. Call in 916-339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. It'll be a pair of tickets to see both days of the Eric Church Double Down Tour when he comes to Golden One Center for his epic two-night experience on November 22nd and 23rd.
There you go, 8:35, whether you're listening live on the app or on the video stream at KHTK.com. Joel, welcome into the drive. Good morning.
Morning, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I've been better.
Yeah.
Just wanted to get a quick word in. You know, hearing Scott talk about the veteran presence that a guy can bring to the locker room, and I'm not saying we would have won the game last night with Iman Shumpert, but I really think they miss him. In the locker room, I haven't heard anything about a scores game since he left, and he's got that playoff experience. So I just think they're really missing Iman, not necessarily last night, but in general.
Well, and let me address that. I've heard that, and it's a tough thing to address because I love Iman Shumpert. I love him as a player, and I think he's a cool dude. And, he's hung out and been with us and, come in on the show and all that stuff. But let's be honest. If I understand that these are human beings we're talking about. I'm talking about the players. But let me put this type of spin on it. If we're in March and they've been losing games in any part because they miss Iman Shumpert, then that's more of a narrative on the weakness of the players currently on the team in their attitude than it is. And by the way, I don't believe it. I don't believe in the whole Iman Shumpert, the trades happened with Justin Jackson and Iman, and that's contributed to any of their losing. I don't buy that. Let me be clear. But to address the people that continually say that, if that's the case, they need to point the finger at the roster because they need to sack up and realize this is a business. Stuff happens. By the way, Harrison Barnes is a better player on both sides of the ball than Iman Shumpert. Harrison Barnes is a better player on both sides of the ball. That doesn't account for chemistry. That doesn't account for all the cool sayings and hashtags and stuff. And I totally get that that's important. I get it. But if you're in the National Basketball Association and you've known a guy for 6 months and 2 months later, a month later, whatever it is, you're like, I know we're up 28, but, Iman, remember when you used to say scores is here? I think we're going to lose.
And that's exactly it. There's talk that Buddy Hield should get a max contract, and Harry Giles and Marvin Bagley are perennial all-stars, and De'Aaron Fox is going to be an MVP. If that's the case, then losing Iman Shumpert isn't making or breaking their season.
That's not us. Like I said, we love Iman. Nothing to do with that. It's just I give the Kings players more credit for being professionals and solid mental people.
And if we got Iman Shumpert on the horn right now, I think he'd probably agree.
I guarantee you he'd say that. In fact, we had Iman Shumpert on the horn.
Can you imagine if he's like, oh, no, it's all me?
You made me laugh. Good morning. Welcome into the drive.
Hey, you guys.
Hey, Jerry.
Hey, Jerry.
Rough loss. Does that qualify for the NCAA?
What do you mean?
I'm thinking maybe if we played in the tournament, we win a couple games.
Oh, yes.
But all jokes aside, wow, that is a gut punch that Kings fans have, regularly occurred and had happen to them over the last 30 years. Later on, this loss, we won't even remember it. We won't even remember it. It'll just be one of tens of thousands of losses that we've suffered. But that being said, it ain't how you start, it's how you finish, and that's what I've said all season. I never understood the hype. I mean, I liked what I saw, but when you are as bad as the Kings were, any kind of incremental improvement is going to seem more than it actually is because, I mean, that's how bad you were or are, whatever. But that doesn't mean these guys aren't my team, and they are. I love these guys, and I think they are going to be better. Are they a championship team? Who knows? But they'll be better, you guys. Come on, get over it. Get in your car and go to the mountain and go snowboarding, right?
Yeah. No, listen, we'll get over it. We'll get over it. I mean, we said this isn't the end of the season. It's not the end of the world. It's not like this is going to keep them out of the playoffs. I understand that. But as many people say, after other, like when we lose by 1 to Milwaukee or Boston or the Warriors, yeah, I have a hard time getting upset over those losses. Look, play another game. Hopefully beat the crap and take everything out on Phoenix. But the one thing I can't handle is the whole, fire the coach, the same old Kings. I mean, I guess even the people that say like, I'm checking out for the season. You can. I mean, okay. Well, last night cost us the playoffs, title.
No, but I think last night was just. I think for some people they still had kind of their hand in the door of the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
And last night slammed the door on that hand.
Slam it right on those fingers. All right, we got to knock out 3 for Madness here. Normally we do it at 7:15. We were on late because of the A's post game. 3 for Madness right now.
Welcome back to The Drive.
They're already here.
Time for 3 for Madness.
The right wing fires up a 3. Count it on a foul! Lets the three-point shot fly. Oh, he's done it again!
3 for Madness.
Oh, he's done it again!
3 for Madness. 3 questions, 3 answers.
3 for Madness brought to you by Fire Wings.
Fire Wings.
21 different flavors to choose from. Firewings.com. Sorry to step on you. Just wing it.
I actually was stepping on you.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Then step on me. Step on my heart. 3 for Madness question number 1.
These are hilarious. On a scale of 1 to stupid, rate last night's Kings game.
Stupid plus. It's stupid plus. Last night's game was so stupid. I can't even.
How stupid was it?
It was so stupid that calling it an insult, calling it stupid's an insult to stupid.
Oh!
Yeah, I don't know. Last night's game was dumb. It was lame. I even have it in my notes. Dumb, stupid, and lame. What the hell? They choked.
It happens in sports.
Yeah.
Like sometimes bad losses occur.
Yeah, well.
Can you imagine if they were like within a game of the playoffs and this loss happened?
Oh,
I think it says a lot though. Here we go. Here's the hang on. I gotta get my notes out.
You're the spin today, Kyle.
Yeah, no, I gotta get my notes out from our memo.
By the way, not for nothing, but in about 3 hours, there's a station event with some Kings people at the Golden One Center.
That must be why they sent me this memo,
right.
To put a positive spin on this game. So I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
They lost a game in March where they blew a 28-point lead. 12 months ago, that would have been worthy of a celebration.
The fact that they had a 28-point lead, you mean?
No, the fact that they lost a game that they should have won. You were tank commander, and not calling you out.
Right, I
but
understand.
There was a large portion of the fan base
that wanted them to lose.
That I'm guessing a lot of that same portion of the fan base was really angry that they lost last night.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
Right. Because I'm calling you out specifically.
Thank you.
No, but I like I said, I know that's a stupid thing and nobody is going to go, yeah, you know what, you're right. But when you zoom out, the season is still a W.
Question number 2. I just can't.
I'm trying. I'm trying really hard.
I appreciate it. I do.
Yeah. That check's going to clear, so I'm fine with that.
The bonus.
Yeah. Which is, Vladdy, hey, thank you. Thank you for this. Which would you rather, rewatch last night's game
Okay.
or give yourself paper cuts in the webbing of all your fingers and then dip them in a bucket of rubbing alcohol?
Ooh. I would rather give myself paper cuts in the webbing of my fingers and my toes and dip them all in a bucket of alcohol than watch last night's game. I would rather clean up all the bathrooms in downtown Sacramento with my face.
You don't already do that?
I would rather put a meat thermometer in one ear and hammer it through to the other. I'd rather slam my tongue in a car door. I'd rather, speaking of that, slide down a razor blade right into a kiddie pool filled with rubbing alcohol.
Ow.
I'd rather staple lunch meat to my entire naked body and dive into an aquarium filled with piranhas than rewatch last night's game. It was that bad. Well, the last quarter at least, just to specify. First 3 quarters I'm okay with.
Hopefully you sat back and enjoyed the first 3 quarters.
I sure did. And then I sat with my family in the living room and watched the final quarter while my daughter was oblivious to everything and trying to tell us about her school project. And at one point I said, watch the game! Oh, sorry.
Did you really?
Sorry, sweet. Yeah, I kind of barked at my kid last night. It's like, dude, do you not see what's going on, kid? Yeah, I really want to hear about your papier-mâché giraffe right now. We're blowing a 28-point lead. Shut up.
I got one for you.
Yeah, Jay.
Would you rather watch last night's game on replay or do a full show in a Vontaze Perfect Raiders jersey?
Oh, strong.
That's really strong. That is actually really, really strong. I guess I'd probably rather watch last night's game.
Okay, good.
Because at least it wasn't dirty. And no, it was disgusting. Yeah. Question 3.
Is D'Angelo Russell Jesus?
I kind of believe so, yeah. Like, I would have liked to have seen a moat and see
Scott
if you could just walk across it. Yeah, apparently D'Angelo Russell last night was, what'd I say? D'Angelo Russell was Jesus last night, and good for him.
You can take solace in the fact that the Lakers gave him away for nothing, and you don't have to face him 4 times a year.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
And I think Julius Randle had like 44 and 16 in his last game, too.
Did he?
Yeah. 40 and 16, something crazy.
You know what really scares me, though? I just looked over.
Ghosts.
Just looked over at our phone lines.
Zombie apocalypse.
Phone lines are dead.
Loud noises.
No, I'll tell you. When I back out of my driveway in the morning when it's dark, and I have that little camera in the back of my
Yeah, we get it. You have a backup camera.
And it's black and white, and I back out, and I always feel like somebody is going to, just like a ghost is going to walk across the screen.
You ever do that with the peephole on your door, too?
What do you mean?
Like today, you have a peephole on your front door?
Yeah.
Go just look out the peephole. And just look outside. It's terrifying.
Oh, that whole fish eye.
Because you keep expecting somebody to
Right. That would be very scary. What scares me is that our phone lines are dead. And the only thing worse than an angry fan base is an apathetic fan base.
I don't think they're apathetic. I think they're just disappointed. Like, what do you want people to say?
I'm usually
Here's all people are going to say is Dave Yeager stinks.
Oh, I'm fine.
And all this other stuff, and you're going to argue with them.
I'm fine with there not being phone calls. Don't get me wrong. But I will tell you this, in all my years of radio, one truth above all others, people would rather call and bitch than call and celebrate. It's always the case.
Yeah, of course.
Phones always go crazier after bad things and good things.
It's the same dynamic as when you could get 100 compliments. People tell you how awesome your show is and they love you and da-da-da-da. But the one thing that you're going to react to and remember is the person that goes, God, I hate your show.
Yeah. That's a good point.
You're bad at your job.
Yeah.
It's that same feeling. That same emotion.
Do we even want to get into well, yeah. All right, we got 5 minutes. I'll switch off. As if last night's game weren't terrible enough, and I think we spent a good hour and a half on it. Vontaze Burfict signed with the Raiders yesterday. Saw it coming. And the calisthenics I've already seen, as predicted, by the way, yesterday morning, from Raider Nation, what's left of it, trying to justify, oh, hey, you guys had Reuben Foster. Or...
As long as Antonio Brown's okay with it.
Right. Well, Paul Gunther, it's low risk, high reward. My favorite one is this is a throwback to the Raiders where they need to be. What those people don't understand is that doesn't work in football anymore. You can't have the 70s and 80s outlaw Raider teams anymore. The game has changed. All that's going to happen is you're going to get penalized all over the place. And either one of two things is going to happen. One of three things. Either Vontaze Burfict is going to be completely ineffective for the team this year. He's going to be effective for the team, but he's going to cost them in key moments with stupid penalties. Or he's going to be ineffective for the team, but also be dumb and cost them stupid penalties. You'll wonder why I dislike Vontaze Burfict so much. It's really weird. I actually have a very passionate disdain for this player. I don't know him as a person, so I say player. Yeah, go to YouTube and just put Vontaze Burfict dirty plays in there and just sit back and watch. Watch him try to rip off Cam Newton's ankle. Watch him roll up on Le'Veon Bell's knee. Sorry, watch him try to rip off multiple ankles. Watch him try to tee up players that are already being held up and tackled with flying spear moves with his helmet. Watch him at Arizona State when he did the same thing. This isn't new. And to the Raider fan out there, let me be very fair, to the Raider fan that I have heard from, Raider fans that I have heard from, that hate the signing and think it's an embarrassment, I feel for you. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking about you, I should say. I completely feel for you. 1-800-920-1140, 339-1140. Good morning, Trey.
What's going on? How you doing today, Dave?
Good. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm hanging in there, man. So I just want to talk about the game last night. I was at the game last night. I seen everything happen. I looked up at the scoreboard, and I seen the word up by 28. I'm like, here we go. So I think we kind of started coasting a little bit too much, obviously. And then I wanted to comment on D'Angelo Russell, too. I'm a diehard Kings fan, of course, but you kind of know how in college or in high school football and basketball, you see it's that 1 5-star on the court.
Yeah,
that's kind of what it was last night with Russell. You seen that he was the only all-star on the court, and it was clear as day. He dropped the 44, the 27 in the fourth, and it was outstanding. And I was telling that to the guy next to me that it's kind of obvious, man. It's just, it was a tough loss, but I'm happy for what we did in the first 3 quarters. It was we kind of shook it up and blew it, but it's kind of tough, man. It was one all-star on the floor, and he showed it. And that's all I got to say, man. I'll take my answer off here. You guys have a good one.
Well, there's nothing really to answer, Trey. You said it all. D'Angelo Russell played like an all-star last night. And I hear all of you saying if there's anything to take solace in, it's the fact that Laker fans saw that game last night, or at least saw the stat line. They gave away D'Angelo Russell.
I follow several Laker fans who were freaking out that D'Angelo Russell doesn't play for their favorite team.
You had me at you follow several Laker fans.
Yeah. I have to get the whole league perspective, man.
Why?
Because.
Okay, we'll take a break.
I feel as though that's my job.
No. When we come back, Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Coors Light.
If you're on hold, we'll get to you.
If you're on hold, if you hold through, Bill and Lance and whoever else, we'll hit you right out of the break, and then we'll get to our Cold Hard Fact right here on The Drive, Sports 1140 KHTK.
Professional, concise, and always on topic. 3 things you won't think of with The Drive on Sports 1140 KHTK.
The Firewings hotline is here for you at 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. 21 different flavors to choose from. Firewings.com, just wing it. Get your calls in now. Coors Light Cold Hard Fact coming up in moments. Bill, you're on the drive. Good morning, Bill.
What's up, fellas?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, first of all, Carmichael Dave, I want to let you know how far I go back with you. I used to listen to you call into the Great Names Here show 20 years ago, and then now you're a big radio show host. Good for you, man.
Thank you.
Anyway, so
you're
right, and I appreciate everything you've done for the station, and everything you've done for the Kings.
Thank you, buddy.
You know, I know you didn't single-handedly save them, but you played a big role in it, and that's why we get to still watch them in Sacramento. So
I was regretting it last night.
Yeah,
just kidding.
Wow, it's hard to be optimistic after last night, but I will tell you, I can't remember the last time the Kings were in the playoff conversation. The last good thing that I could, the last positive start or thing that's happened with the Kings was when they went 9-4 that season when Cousins got sick with meningitis, and then the coach got fired shortly after that. So we are in the playoff conversation. We have 3 potential all-stars on our team, maybe 4. It depends on how some of the other players work out. I think this is great. We're going to win. We could possibly win half of our games. Beginning of the season, you guys were talking about, that they'll be lucky if they win 25 games. We just got to stay positive. This is a great team. If they keep it together and maybe add one more piece, we'll be going to the playoffs next year for sure.
I agree, Bill. And it isn't the end of the world. And thank you for all the kind things you said, seriously, and thank you for listening. No, it's not the end of the world. So funny how, you have guys like Bill who see the bright side. You have a lot of people out there who don't want to see the bright side. I'm one of those today. Yeah, I go to the Jiffy Lube text line, Jiffy Lube multi-care text line at 441140. From the 916. At the end of the day, you're on the radio. You represent our Kings and City on the radio all around the world, Dave. Quit acting like your dog with 2 G's died. Have some enthusiasm and spark in your telecast.
Damn.
Dead serious. We're not a bunch of P words. So quit acting
Pizzas?
like we are. Yes.
Pineapples.
And it's so funny throughout the years we dive into the psychology of the fan. How many people are so concerned with how everyone else is taking it? Like, I'm going to react to games the way I react. You're going to react the way you react. This guy and this girl is going to react the way they react. Some days I'm going to see the positive. Some days I don't want to see the positive. Yeah, of course I see the positive. I could spend the next 10 minutes talking about all the positive. I don't want to see the positive right now.
I believe it was you on this same show.
It was.
Last week. Talking about how, hey, they could still make the playoffs.
They could have.
So, I would like to just pick up your point and go, hey, they could still make the playoffs. They're not out of it.
Shut up, Kyle. No, they can't. Stop being lame.
They're mathematically in it.
You're mathematically in it.
Darn right I am.
Bam. Your face.
Your face is mathematical.
Can we do a Coors Light Cold Hard Fact, please?
You're not going to like it.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I have to.
Is it a really cold?
It's really cold.
Do you have to play the thing?
It's yeah, I do, but I want to let everybody know that Eric Church tickets are coming up. We've got 2 of them to see both days of the Eric Church Double Down Tour when he comes to Golden One Center for his epic 2-night experience on November 22nd and 23rd. 8:35 is when we're taking calls to give those tickets away.
Okay.
It's time for the Coors Light Cold Hard Fact of the Day.
I'm really sorry.
Here's Kyle Madsen.
No, you're not.
Do you want me to turn off your headphones?
No.
So you can't. Are you sure?
Just shut up and read the dumb fact brought to you by Coors Light, which is not dumb at all.
Love Coors Light.
Love Coors Light. Great. This fact is dumb.
So the Nets trailed by 25 going into the fourth quarter last night. Prior to last night in the shot clock era, teams trailing by 25 points or more through 3 quarters were 3 and 3,028.
Well, good to see that there's 2 other teams that did it.
Three other teams prior to last.
3. That's a positive. We weren't the only ones, Kyle.
Nope.
Other NBA teams have had this happen to them.
Yeah.
We're not the only ones that choked away the things.
Yeah.
Now, I'd like to know how many of those were at home.
Hey, the Nets are a playoff team, dude.
In the East. It's like when my kid won the contest they were just in. There were 2.
Odyssey of the Mind.
Yeah, and there were 2 teams. Hold on, what time is it? It's 8:30.
Okay. You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, there were 2 teams, and so now they're going to states because the other team, like, their car fell apart. Well, all right. Great job. I also have seen a lot like that stat. I'm sure somewhere in there did you say that's in the shot clock era? So here's my question. I've seen that in the shot clock era. Only 3 other teams. Did somebody else blow a 28-point lead before the shot clock era? I would think no. Like, that was when you could just hold the ball and pass it, do the 4 corners thing. And just hold the ball for a minute. I'm pretty sure before the shot clock era, nobody blew a 28-point lead. Because, the shot clock forces you to do things. Did you just give away the no?
I said 8:35. You call it 8:34, you're getting hung up on.
Yep. That's why you locked the phones, right?
Yep, they're locked right now.
I don't believe this text from the 209. Last night I put my dog down after work. I did it myself. The Kings' loss was a worse feeling than my dog not suffering in pain anymore. I'm calling
You did it yourself?
Wow. I think they meant like they went and like experienced it. It's not a ride, but they went to the vet and did the thing.
You can do that?
Yeah, you've never. Well,
oh, that is more.
Oh, yeah. No, you go there and like you can be with the dog. Oh, I've done
that. I knew, but I didn't know.
Terrible.
Yeah, we had a dog get put down at our house one time. It really sucks.
Yeah, exactly. I don't buy that.
Brutal.
I mean, listen, I'm sorry, but I don't buy that putting down your dog was less painful than the Kings game last night. I'm sorry. Let's have a little perspective there. I'm pretty sure the Kings game was less painful than putting down a dog.
I have a question.
Yes. Sorry, wrong button. Go ahead, Kyle.
Can I bring nuance to a conversation?
Yes, let's have the Warrior fan help us feel better. Kyle threw off his headphones, and he's doing the hand raise thing. This is normally where I would actually yell and scream for Kyle to put his mic back on, but I'm just not in the mood if Kyle wants to act that way.
No, your team sucks, and you don't have championships to lean on.
Thank you. Yes. Condescend to me. Condescend to this fan base. This tortured fan base. Oh, we're supposed to, hey, by the way. Okay, we're back on break time, right? Normal time's okay, thank you. TJ Dillashaw apparently flunked a test, and not the kind you want to. It has been announced that he has been suspended for a year. He made a statement earlier today on his Instagram. I will paraphrase, just saying, hey, I wanted you guys to be the first to know. This is what happened. And me and my team are investigating. He has relinquished his belt. Here's a statement. To all my fans, I want to be the first one to let you know that ISADA and the New York Athletic Commission have informed me of an adverse finding in a test taken for my last fight. While words can't even begin to express how disappointed I am at this time, please know I'm working with my team to understand what has occurred and how to resolve the situation as quickly as possible. Out of fairness and respect to the rest of my division, I've informed the UFC that I'll be voluntarily relinquishing my title while I deal with this matter. I want to thank all of you in advance for your support. I don't know how, listen, I'm fine with TJ. But I just don't know if how voluntary that one was.
Is that the first time he's been popped?
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn. So it's a year for the first time, or is it? Explain to me.
A lot of it depends. I don't have the details yet, and it's not necessarily one time's a warning, 2 times. It's a case by case in many cases. No pun intended there. I don't know what the details are yet, and if they're out, I haven't seen them. But yeah, it's something there for them to already suspend him for a year. It's not like they just found this out, an hour ago. So TJ gives up his belt after going after a second belt and getting TKO'd in that fight. It's not a good couple of months for TJ Dillashaw. And this is coming on the heels. Might as well get to this. I'd planned on spending more time on it, but the Kings happen. The UFC and ESPN jointly announced yesterday afternoon that ESPN Plus will become the exclusive destination and distributor for the UFC's pay-per-view events. It's a 7-year deal with ESPN, which is, of course, owned by Disney, which just bought Fox Entertainment today. That's I think it's a $71 billion deal, closed this morning. ESPN Plus had already streamed preliminary matches for UFC pay-per-views under that deal. Now they're the go-to for everything. In the couple minutes we have, let me just say, I've covered the UFC since its inception. I'm a huge fan of mixed martial arts and go back a long, long way with a lot of people that have been there a long time with the UFC. I don't say this lightly, and I've never said it before, but I think UFC is primed for the taking right now. I really do. Ever since they sold for $4+ billion, the Fertittas and Dana White sold the UFC, it's just been a downhill spiral, and much of it, a lot of it, not their fault. They can't control drug tests. They can't control injuries. They can't control Ronda Rousey being exposed and moving on to the WWE. They can't control Conor McGregor getting just flattened by Khabib Nurmagomedov. They can't control the Floyd Mayweather thing. A lot of that stuff they can't control, but a lot of the stuff they can. ESPN Plus is a buggy system. And now you're going to have people that are going to buy the pay-per-views on ESPN Plus, and then they have to put it on their TVs, cast it, do this, do that, whatever. ESPN Plus isn't on every smart TV, and every smart TV doesn't have ESPN Plus. Whereas before you could just hit pay-per-view and go. They find they're making it more and more difficult to be able to consume their product. And on top of that, they're very, very short right now on marketable fighters. They are. They're very, very short on marketable fighters. You just saw Chris Cyborg in the women's division get annihilated, and Ronda Rousey's gone. Holly Holm is a non-factor. Paige VanZant is right now, at least championship-wise, a non-factor, but very marketable. The women's division, Amanda Nunes, all props to her, but she has not been able to sell pay-per-views. You go to the men's side. Who's there that sells pay-per-views, really, other than Jon Jones? They could bring Brock Lesnar back, whatever, fine. Maybe run Jon Jones and Daniel Cormier back again, which I don't want to see. Just feel like it is prime. It is a prime opportunity for another organization, and Bellator with Scott Coker, the old Strikeforce head, is probably the best one in line to start signing and developing fighters. I think there's just a lot of turnoff with the UFC right now. They really, really have, quote unquote, gone corporate. And I'm using air quotes there, but this is a bad deal for them. This is investors needing to make money back and jumping the gun a little bit, in my opinion. We'll take a break. When we come back, what's on tap? We'll talk about that. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about the A's and Mariners. And if you want to get a phone call in, Kyle will unlock the phone lines now at 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. If you want to get a call in before the end of the program on The Drive, Sports 1140 KHTK.
It's the end of the show, but it's the start of your workday. For a cold one, it's What's on Tap. Here's What's on Tap.
What's on Tap? Brought to you by... This could be a good one.
Kleenex.
Actually,
I guess I should say tissues.
Yeah, Kleenex, it's kind of interesting about Kleenex. There are very few brands that are associated with the actual product. Like when we say Kleenex, that's universal for everything. Ziploc would be another one. It could be a generic thing of it. Band-Aid is an excellent one. Google. I'm going to Google something. You could Google something on some other search engine, but everybody calls it Google.
Pepsi or Coke for cola.
Yeah,
What?
Yeah, like, hey, give me a Coke. Give me a Pepsi. It could be a whatever.
Do you say give me a cola, Kyle?
No, I don't. I don't drink.
That's my point.
Would like to have a soft drink.
No, but you would just if I want a Dr. Pepper, I'm not going to order a Coke.
No. But did you know in the Midwest they say pop?
Yeah,
like for real they do.
My buddy's from Chicago, and he says I'm going to have a pop. It's like, you're going to have a what now?
Pop. Kleenex.
Liter of cola.
That's Super Troopers.
Oh.
What's on tap today? Well, the Oakland Athletics.
Kleenex, get yours today.
Have yet to win a game this season. They will take on the Seattle Mariners in Game 2 of their 2-game series in Japan. Marco Estrada will take the mound against Yusei Kikuchi. That game, 2:30 in the morning, our time, tomorrow morning. I don't think we'll be taking as much as the post-game show. At least.
Nope.
Is that a fact? Okay.
Yeah. I got the okay from Gossman.
Although Chris Townsend, old member of KHTK.
He showed us some love today.
Did he?
Good to hear that we're loud and clear on KHTK, 1140 a.m. in Sacramento, one of the great sports stations in the state of California.
Yeah, we're like pretty much the flagship, aren't we?
Good to hear people are checking in from Sacramento. Love being on KHTK. Gives us all of Northern California. Yeah. You can get KHTK in Nevada. You can get it all the way down to like Bakersfield. It's a flamethrower. So good to hear that we are on KHTK this morning.
That's right. Thanks,
He
Townie.
said that. Hey, he said that right as we were talking about, like, hey, when do we get on? Like, when do we start our show instead of this?
So check it out. So nobody knows this except you and Charles, who was here overnight doing
and
the
Jay
show. And Jay, excuse me. I was when we left their post-game show at 6:55 to start our show at 7. I was the next caller up. I'd been on hold for like 15 minutes as Dave in Sacramento. I was going to go on. Townie, love you. Listening on KHTK, big fan. I would see if he would have recognized the voice and hoped he would have.
I don't know. You have a pretty generic voice.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe he wouldn't have recognized it. But I was going to say, hey, you know what? I want to look at the bright side of this A's loss. Far better to be down and almost come back and fall short than to have a giant lead and blow it.
It'd have been great if you told him you were loving the A's postgame way more than the drive.
Say that again?
If you had told him you were like, yeah, I'm loving this postgame show. It's way better than the drive.
Can we take all 3 hours? 2:30 a.m. is the start there. In the NBA, what's that? I don't even know what the NBA is. It's Celtics and 76ers in Philadelphia. That's going to be a heck of a game. That starts at 4 o'clock. Raptors in Oklahoma City to take on the Thunder. And the Mavericks are playing in Portland against the Trail Blazers.
Ooh, so the Kings are going to get the Mavs on the back end of a road back-to-back.
Back-to-back.
Do you think Dave Yeager will stop the game to give Dirk a standing O?
I heard this yesterday. They were wondering about this on the lowdown. No, I don't. I do think here's an interesting question for the fan base. I'm actually thinking about putting it out as a poll because people can vote anonymously. And at this point of the year with the playoffs not mattering, especially after last night's loss, I do wonder, Kyle, never mind because you're not a Kings fan. Jay.
Yeah.
Which do you think the fan base would rather? Luka Doncic to go for 45, 12, and 12, and Marvin Bagley to go for like 8 points, but the Kings win? Or reverse that. Bagley goes for like 45 and 15 with like 5 blocks, but Dallas wins.
Well, I think
Doncic stinks.
And Doncic sucks. Doncic sucks.
I bet it's that.
Yeah, he goes like 8 points.
If I'm betting, I bet the latter.
Kings fans so badly want Luka to just come in here and light it up and Marvin to suck just so they can complain. They'd rather complain. Look at your Twitter mentions.
I understand that.
Look at your Twitter mentions.
Twitter's not real life, though, man.
It is sometimes.
Well, I'll be running this poll on Twitter.
There you go.
Great point.
But think about it. After the Chicago win, how was your Twitter timeline?
Quiet, nice, sweet, like a fresh summer breeze.
Kings blow a 28-point lead, and puppies have been murdered around the world. Everyone's writing on your Twitter timeline. Am I right?
It was so insane. Like the first 3 quarters of last night's game was so quiet. It was so nice. Like, hey, this looks great.
Sit back and enjoy this one.
Right. Yeah, I think somebody tweeted that. Hell, we're making fun of Matt George for that because he said that. He said, yeah, sit back, enjoy this one. Kings fans, you deserve it. Hey, listen.
For what it's worth, he called himself out.
And I'll stand with Matt because I
too.
think in the third quarter I said something like, it's so nice to see the results of this team growing. Oh, no. Yeah, I said almost
exactly. You did it too?
I absolutely did, which is why I don't do that.
Here's a big difference. Matt George came in this morning, though, and was like, I still thoroughly enjoyed that game, even though they lost. I'm happy.
What?
He said that. I swear to God. He told me that this morning.
Oh, no.
God. Ew.
Ugh.
I literally have the same reactions if somebody came in here and farted. Like that. What?
We can make that a reality if you want.
No, I'm good.
Do you want me to go get him to try to him justify it for the last 2 minutes?
I thought you were going to go get him and fart in your studio. No, no, I don't think we have the time. Yeah, can't do that. Okay. I'm going to put that poll out. Would you rather Luka do well and Marvin suck, but the Kings win, or Marvin do well and Luka sucks, but the Kings lose?
I think it's that one.
You think they'd rather see Marvin do well, but the Kings lose?
Yeah. Nope.
Yeah, dude, because people want to complain, remember?
Yeah.
The Kings lost to the Mavericks at home on the back end of a road back-to-back for Dallas. That's way worse than winning.
Yeah, you're thinking logically that's your problem.
IMHO.
Yeah. I'm so glad this show is over. Really, I'm not even
Me
gonna
too,
lie.
dude.
Like, I don't even try to hide it. Like, why do that? Why be fake?
Do you want to we have 45 seconds, just want to let the music run?
Do I want to? Yes. Do I feel like we still have a responsibility to somewhat perform our duties?
I got something for you, Dave.
Yes, Jay.
Never give up and never give in as long as the Kings have a chance to win. That's from the great Positive Dave.
Oh, the late great Positive Dave.
Yes. Not you, by the way.
No. No. Well, hey, it was 6 years ago today. I was in Phoenix, Arizona in a big giant RV with a couple other smelly dudes going around the country. At least there's perspective. Hey, we have a team. We have a brand new arena, right? For Kyle Madsen, for Jay, for everybody involved, Jim Rome is next. Enjoy the rest of your broadcast day on Sports 1140 KHTK. Bye-bye now.